It's Friday, July 26. Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with your midday news. A special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. Following threats by the St. Ann Public Health Department to close the Otras Market, the municipal corporation says remedial works will be done in the coming months to prevent that from happening. TVJ's O'Shane Masters reports.
Approximately $5 million will be spent to carry out rehabilitative work on the Otras Market in St. Ann. The announcement comes after Chief Public Health Inspector for the parish, Leroy Scott, told TVJ News that during inspections of the market, there was evidence of feces and urine in several areas. This was due to the lack of proper toilets, especially at nights. Chairman of the St. Ann Municipal Corporation, Michael Belnavis, says a number of improvements will be coming for the market. Among them would be the establishment of curb walls and repaving the market. But what about the poor toilet facilities, which cause a threat from the Public Health Department?
So we're going to be installing a male and female bathroom at the northeast quadrant of the market.
He adds that vendors who sell their produce in the car park area will be removed.
Those individuals who are vending in the car park have gotten notice to move back into the market so that we can have a market that is designed to serve what it is designed and intended for. That is for the people to transact business and sell clothes, fruits, and so on in the market itself, not in the car park. So that will be done. These people are doing what they have to do in the car park of the market illegally, and as such creating havoc and creating a nuisance to the public.
The chairman says work on improving the market should commence next week and should be completed within a month. Mr. Belnavis says they have taken this route as they are unsure when the promise of the new market by Prime Minister Andrew Holness will come to fruition. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
With continued anxiety among nurses at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH, about the health effects of the poor air quality at the hospital, the Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, is calling for a study on the issue to be completed before the end of the year. On Tuesday, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton told the House of Representatives a small working group has developed an approach to the study. However, it is yet to be commissioned. NAJ President Carmen Johnson laments that nurses remain in limbo the longer it takes for the study to be completed.
Though we waited too long, I am still happy that there is still plans afoot to commence it in the short run. And I'm hoping that the short run won't be at the end of the year into next year, because our members are still in limbo where they're still concerned as to what is happening and they don't know. Especially one of our nurses whose lung is just not functioning, and she has to be having frequent checks at national chest and doing many tests, which she's getting tired of. And so I'm hoping that they will seek to do it before the last quarter of this year so that we can know how our nurses can proceed.
Mrs. Johnson says she also wants to see improvements in the staff clinic at the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
You didn't have the regular clinics as you should. You didn't have the support specialist services that should have been present to treat with the problems that they were experiencing. And I think they just felt comfortable based on the fact that the staff was out of the building. They were not having the severe reactions that they were having on a frequent basis, and so persons went into that lax mood. So we have had the dialogue and we have had the discussion up to in June, and we're looking forward to see strengthening of the staff clinic to meet the healthcare needs of those persons.
Operations at Cornwall Regional have been significantly scaled down as the Health Ministry carries out extensive repairs to address the air quality issues at the facility. Both candidates vying for presidency of the People's National Party, PNP, were this morning nominated at the party's headquarters on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew. The challenge for the top job follows recent losses for the PNP in Southeast St. Mary and the Eastern Portland by-elections. Central Manchester Member of Parliament Peter Bunting was nominated first at approximately 9 o'clock. Following his nomination, his campaign manager, Dayton Campbell, addressed supporters.
Be with us and to show your support for Comrade Bunting and the Rise United movement to re-energize the People's National Party. We are grateful for your support, we appreciate it, and we want to tell you thanks. This campaign came about because the people of the country called for and demand a change in the leadership of the People's National Party. And Comrade Fontaine has responded to your call.
Incumbent President Dr. Peter Phillips was nominated a few hours later. The election for president of the PNP is set for Saturday, September 7. President-elect of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Owen Speed, is making some suggestions to the government to improve functionality and efficiency at schools. He believes environmental resources can and should be used to resolve some of the challenges currently being experienced at schools across the island. One such solution is the use of wind turbines to generate electricity.
We need to look seriously at the amount of wind that we have just blowing up every single day around us. We need to look at the sunshine that we have and to see how we can put together resources. We could have a wind turbine that generates electricity. We could look at putting in solar panels in schools, and not just at Seaward Primary, but to put in solar panels that could make electricity costs go down over a period of years.
Another solution Mr. Speed proposes is the construction of water catchment facilities on school compounds.
The water catchment is another thing that we need to look to partner with schools across the island, not just at Seaward, but to partner with schools to see if we can set up water catchment facilities so that when we have the shortage of rainfall, the children can come to school and feel comfortable that they can wash their hands, they can flush the toilets, and they can use the bathrooms.
Mr. Speed was speaking at a ceremony honoring stakeholders in the education sector at the Seaward Primary and Junior High School in St. Andrew yesterday. And we now take a break here on the Midday News, but please stay with us. We have more stories when we return. Welcome back, continuing the news. A 52-year-old farmer who is accused of a sex charge involving a 13-year-old female was yesterday offered bail when he appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court. Michael Powell of Leeds and Retrieve in St. Elizabeth, who is charged with having sex with someone under 16 years, was offered bail in the sum of $300,000 with surety. As a condition of his bail, he is to reside in the community of Leeds and not to be seen in the community of Retrieve. He is not to have any contact, whether direct or indirectly, with the complainant or her relatives. It's reported that between July 9 and 10, Mr. Powell had sexual intercourse with the minor. According to reports, Mr. Powell, who is also said to be a relative of the 13-year-old, was left at the home with the minor. In the morning, the 13-year-old told another relative of her sexual encounter with Mr. Powell during the night. The matter was reported to the police, and Mr. Powell was taken into custody, questioned, and later charged. He is scheduled to return to court on October 14. We're going on to news in sports. After the Reggae Girls and the Sunshine Girls graced the international stage at World Cup tournaments, the attention now shifts to Jamaica's under-19 women's lacrosse team as they left the island on Wednesday for their world event in Canada. Simon Preston caught up with the team on their departure.
Despite recent financial challenges, the team is heading to Canada as Jamaica gets set to compete for their first time in an under-19 Women's Lacrosse World Cup. President of the Jamaica Lacrosse Association, JLA, Calbert Hutchinson, is grateful for the support.
I'm relieved in twofold. I'm relieved of the fact that we were able to get the funding to secure our airfare, so we're going. By all means, we're going. But we are still in the process of raising the funds to plug that deficit. We are down still about 10,000 US, so we're still fundraising. But we're going, and by all means, we're going to get the additional funding. Thanks to the Minister of Sports, we're able to secure $1 million from them that is going towards our accommodation and our meals.
With the weight of securing travel plans now off their shoulders, the players are optimistic about impressing on the world stage.
I'm very confident. I'm sure. I don't even think we're going to even come in second. I'm sure I know that we're going to take the first place.
It's been great. we've covered a lot of things. We're ready to go over there, and I believe that, we're going to make our country proud. So we just need you guys to believe in us.
Assistant coach Carly Brentlinger is proud of the growth of the team.
They have improved tremendously. I mean, these girls have worked so hard. Since I started working with them in December, they've just grown as young ladies, as lacrosse players, as athletes. They've pushed themselves immensely, so we're ready for the competition.
Head coach Alex Baldini says the team is going to be competitive.
Very, very high, especially having the boys come from Israel last year. We want to not necessarily just try to match them, but at the same time we want to make Jamaica proud. We want to make the whole Caribbean proud because we are the first Caribbean country to go to the World Games, especially for women's lacrosse. So it's a great opportunity. So we got a lot to live up to, but I think we can come to the challenge.
The Lacrosse World Cup is set to run from August 1 to 10 in Ontario, Canada. Prior to the tournament, Jamaica will play the Republic of Ireland in a practice game on July 29. Simon Preston reporting for TVJ Sports.
And that wraps up the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.